Hello and welcome to the Experience Podcast. My name is Neil Miller. I am a multi-dimensional being having a human experience. This is our YouTube channel, and with me today is I'm Dennis Miller. And today we're going to be talking about the feminine and the masculine energies and how it relates to emotions. So, Neil, when you think of divine masculinity, what comes to what do you think of when you hear that? Like the masculine, so the one of the best ways I can explain this is me speaking right now. And when I'm speaking, it is the masculine side of myself being expressed when I speak. And when I listen, when someone else is talking and I'm listening, that is the feminine side of myself expressing itself. So we have both of these aspects within our being, within ourself. And it's very important because it goes right with the law of duality, like black and white, fast and slow, masculine and feminine. They are one thing. They're like together, but they are two different aspects. That way, in order to see black, you have to know what white looks like, or vice versa. In order to see white, you have to know what black looks like. So this masculine and feminine energies, they are both inside of our being. And another way to, I guess an example of this would be the masculine is sort of rigid and sort of, you could even say more in the ego mind, more like has set ways of doing this, like this is how it's done, whereas the feminine is more flowy and more adjustable and more able to it's a flowing energy, more able to change, better adaptive to change, per se. So we have these two aspects in ourself, and each person has a feminine and a masculine aspect within themselves. And the feminine energy is also like when you express yourself, or say art or singing, or that's kind of a feminine energy. So, and with that, like how that ties into emotions is like, so emotions are energy in motion, and emotions come and they go, and so they're not staying in. You feel the emotion, and it's only when you attach to the emotion that the emotion stays. When you just observe it and you let it go, it will continue in the same manner that it came initially to you. So with the divine masculine and feminine and emotions, it's like, so take me for example. So I'm a man, but I do have a feminine aspect within me. So society looks at being a man as being a rigid man. This is how you do things, and almost to the point where you're pushed to suppress your emotions and to not feel them. And this is brought about with one simple, powerful saying: "Be a man." And if you've heard that, or if you've had that said to you, that is, it's like a slap to the face. It's and it's not accurate at all, because what your definition of being a man is every man is different. And when we find the balance within our masculine and feminine selves, that balance is what it's all about. It's not about going overly into the masculine side or going overly into the feminine side. It's about finding that balance between the two, and being able to express your masculine side and being able to express your feminine side with proper balance.
When you were talking about that phrase, to be a man, to just be like, if something happens in life and someone tells us, just man up, I feel like a lot of the time that actually shuts us down as a man to find possibly the best solution in that situation.
No.
Or if someone says that, rather than being stepping into that creativity or actually finding the answer, it literally shuts down. That phrase shuts us down.
So it does in a sense, but so what is it shutting down? Emotions, but I feel like it's also shutting down your feminine side.
Yes.
When you say be a man, you're stressing your masculine side. And what I just talked about is the balance between the masculine and the feminine is what's so important. So yes, it can shut you down a little bit, and I feel like it's more so shutting down the feminine side. And like you were saying, now you're maybe you're thinking overly masculine, you're in your thinking mind and you're talking, whereas if you would just listen and bring out your creative feminine side, there's a good potential that you'll have an answer for the situation that you're in.
Yes.
So, another thing is with being a man is it's suppressing your feminine side. You use the example of shutting it down, but what it is doing is it's suppressing it. And suppression is the opposite of expression, and suppression is depression, according to Sadhguru. When you suppress whatever you're suppressing, it is going to depress you. So a solution is to express yourself rather than suppress it, rather than suppressing the side of yourself that people are telling you to. Bring it out and express it, and if that makes you happy, then your opinion is none of my business. It's all on you. So if you express that and someone doesn't like it, that has nothing to do with you. That's you being happy expressing yourself. What can you add to, what would you say to someone who says that they don't feel emotion?
And well, the first thing that comes to my mind is that everyone is gonna feel emotions. Now we can be taught to not feel emotions. We can taught that emotions don't serve us. And especially growing up a man, like, I feel that I was told often to just, like you said, be a man. And what I've learned is, in order for me to grow as a person, sometimes it's okay for a man to cry. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for advice.
Not only is it okay, it's actually beneficial to you.
Yes. Because then that's where the solutions are. That's where the creativity comes from. And the answers. So what was your original question was?
So like, what would you say to someone who says that they don't feel emotion, and that basically they just don't feel emotion? What would you say to that person?
It depends on the situation. I've met some people that have had a childhood that they were not loved from their parents, or from their, they may not have had a family. And in that sense, like, I feel like those people grew up not receiving love, So it's very hard for them to even realize or recognize what love is in that kind of a situation. So I feel like it depends on the situation, as far as if they feel emotions or not. But I
Sure.
do believe that everyone can feel emotions,
Sure. So in a
unless they're the
household,
non-organic ones.
sure. And in a household where, let's say, you do not feel love or you're not loved, you're feeling emotions, but they may be emotions of anger, they may be emotions of hate, they're still emotions. So, to someone who says that they don't feel emotions, they're actually just denying a part of themselves. And they are still feeling emotions, it just might not be the emotions that they would want to feel. So,
And that would lead to their unhappiness. And
well, that would lead to potentially them saying that they just cannot feel any emotion because they don't like the emotion that they're currently feeling.
wow.
Whereas they are still feeling emotions, but they're not recognizing the emotion that they're feeling. They're not liking the way they're feeling.
So they keep on suppressing.
Yes, and suppression is depression. Whereas if you would just express that, if you feel anger, if you feel hate, if you feel these negative emotions, it's okay to feel them. That's good, because with that duality, with the law of duality, in order to feel love, you have to feel hate. In order to feel, it goes hand in hand. So if you're feeling these, know that they won't last, and know that now you're able to recognize what it's like to feel love, because you have felt these non-loving emotions.
What would you say to someone that says they don't feel emotions?
Similar to what I just finished saying about how
What can a person like that do to start or to recognize the emotions that they're feeling?
yes. So sun gazing. So it's something that I've started to incorporate, and there's a right time to do it. And we're taught that we cannot look at the sun. That's not true. When the sun is midway up, say around noon, you definitely probably don't want to look at it because it's extremely bright. But as the sun, so we have the earth, and as the sun is moving across the earth, it starts out far away, and when at sunrise, it's at its furthest point, and at the sunrise, so here's sunrise, here's noon, and here's sunset. So at sunrise, you can look directly at the sun, and you can just stare directly into it, and it will you will receive information from the sun. The sun is energy, the sun is life. So when it's sunrise, you can look at the sun, and then so we're here on this plane of earth right here. So here the sun is fairly far away, so we're able to look at it, and as it comes across the earth, now it's directly above us, and it's extremely bright, so now is not a good time to look at it. And then as it moves further away again towards sunset, you can look at it again. And So sun gazing is an option, but so with the sun gazing, you asked what I would recommend to someone to who says that they don't feel emotions. So the main recommendation is to sit with yourself. Take an hour at the beginning of the day at sunrise, or take an hour at the end of the day at sunset, and sun gaze and sit with yourself. And when you feel these emotions come up, feel them, recognize that you're feeling them, and then let them go. Realize that you do not want to feel this way anymore. And it's a conscious thing to feel these, and then consciously focus your conscious attention on letting the emotions go. And then as you do that, more emotions will come up. And as these come up, you just keep doing the same thing. Recognize that you're feeling them, feel them, and then let them go. But my main recommendation is to sit with yourself, by yourself, because we're so constantly around people. We have families, we go home, we're around families, we go to work, we're around people, we have our phones, we're constantly distracted, we have TV. You go to Walmart, you go shopping in stores, they have music playing. It's a distraction to keep you from looking at yourself. And now when you take that hour and you actually look at yourself, you're able to begin recognizing the emotions that you're feeling and to start to let them go. And this creates space for new emotions to come up.
That's very interesting. When you said sitting down, something that I find helpful is exercise. And the reason that I say that is because you said this a lot, is energy in motion stays in motion. So I feel like when I exercise, it gets me into a better state of being when I'm active. So when and it does the same thing as, for example, energy healing. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with like Reiki or different types of acupuncture, would be another one, or even a massage, to where what you're doing is you're opening up blocked energy channels in your body, right? So when you exercise, you're also opening up possibly potentially blocked energy channels. And I feel like sometimes that allows different emotions to surface that otherwise you weren't aware that were there.
That has actually been proved by science, like how exercise, by moving your muscles and by moving different parts of your body, if there is stored energy or if there is trauma at a specific spot, with movement and by moving your body, you release these stored energy blockages, and you, exactly like you were saying, you open it up to be able to have energy channeling through you, and in a better and more efficient fashion, than because it can get blocked, and with the exercise it releases these blockages.
Yes. Like you hear sometimes people have a pinched nerve or whatever, and I feel like that gets caused by not recognizing the emotions that cause the pinched nerve in the first place. So,
well, it's emotion, but it's also lack of movement.
yes.
See, movement could, and it is the emotion that can potentially cause that pinched nerve, but it's also with movement, you would be able to release that emotion, and it would unpinch that nerve, which would cause a release in your emotional state, because that pinched nerve is affecting your emotions and your being. Now you feel kind of agitated all the time because of this pinched nerve. So through movement, now you unpinch it and you feel not agitated, you feel better.
And I feel like, well, I know, like a couple weeks ago, I had a major breakthrough with that. Just what we've been talking about as far as exercising. So, it was a very, very powerful experience. And the reason I bring that up is because, where was I going with that?
Would you like to talk about the experience itself?
Yes. So I'll just share my experience. So, I got put into this position at the place that I work at, and the position that required a lot of strategizing and a lot of thinking, a lot of putting my mind and my brain into the day.
Like that would be a masculine side of yourself.
Yes. And I did this for about 2 to 3 months, I believe. And I was working out one night, and I watched this video of this YouTuber that I watch his videos, and it was like a light bulb went off. And what he talked about was detaching from and actually connecting to myself. And what I realized is that I was so much into my thinking mind that I was totally disconnected with Dennis. So, and it created depression and suicidal thoughts to the point where it was not good. Something had to give. And when I was exercising, when I was doing my workout, I realized that, and I cried for damn near 2-3 hours, and my whole body was just shaking because it was a very, very powerful moment. Because I realized I had totally disconnected from who Dennis was. So I feel like, and going back to the exercise, it's as if to bring up sometimes emotions that have been suppressed, that we've been not giving the attention to that we need to. Doing exercise, going for a jog, just paying attention, being aware of the emotions that we feel. I feel like exercise can be very, very, very helpful in our self-growth as a person, to where it's like peeling back layers of an onion, where you identify certain aspects of me. I identify certain aspects of me that I wasn't aware of in the past, and then I work on those, and then I exercise some more, and I become aware of other things that I can work on.
Well, it's this thing of persistence, not necessarily persistence, when you do something but you do not want to do it. What is that? What is a word for that? So like when you do something but you do not want to do it, it's
Discipline.
not discipline. So when you do something but you do not want to do it, it creates a new neural pathway in your brain. And with exercise, it's not fun today. So, and you see this a lot with people that just begin going to the gym or just begin working out, to where they might go for a week and they get so sore after a week, and it's not fun at all, that they discontinue it because in the moment it's so not fun. But as you continue doing these things that are not fun, you're creating new neural pathways, and it creates, maybe discipline would be a good word. Discipline, yes, I'll use the word discipline. Discipline within yourself. So discipline is like, it's a muscle. It's exactly like a muscle. So when you exercise, you may grow your muscles, but the main thing that you're growing is discipline for yourself. And as you grow this discipline, it infiltrates other areas of your life. And so what I'm getting at is, in the moment, it's not necessarily fun to do it, but with continuously doing this and with learning this discipline for yourself, and as you continue to do it, now you're able to do it more efficiently and you're not getting sore anymore as much. And the discipline is there, and it's there to help you in other areas of your life now. So, creating that discipline for yourself is key, because a lot of this with emotions is a lack of discipline. So when you feel these emotions, like rather than attaching to them, be disciplined with yourself and allow yourself to feel them and allow yourself to let them go. And that is not an easy thing to do. So that's where discipline comes in, and being able to recognize that you're feeling like crap and that you do not want to feel this way. So then you can let the crap go. Because there's also an aspect to this where when you feel anger and when you feel hate for an extended amount of time, you forget that there's other ways of being, and other ways and other emotions to feel. And now you become so attached to this feeling anger and feeling hate, you become attached to it, and you forget that you can feel love, and that you can feel gratitude, and that you can feel forgiveness for other people and compassion. And there's these wonderful emotions that you're able to feel, and they're right there. You just have to recognize it and let go of your past and get into the present moment in order to feel these gratitude and love emotions.
That's very, very, very when you were saying that, I was thinking about the fact, just that story that I shared earlier about that the breakthrough that I had when I was depressed and suicidal, because what happened 2 days after that is I started disciplining myself on gratitude and being in the moment and self-love. Whereas before that, I had no time to love myself, or I wasn't grateful in the moment, because I was constantly in my mind was just going. So I want people to, if you're listening to this, just know that the discipline, that gratefulness can be achieved with discipline as well. It's something. It's a muscle that can be developed as well.
Whoever's watching this, I want you to know that you are powerful beyond measure. Like, you are so powerful that they are literally coming out with vaccines, coming out with masks, which shows in the old times, masks were put on criminals, and you are so powerful that they're bringing these things out in order to shut you down. So they know the power that you have, and I know the power that you have. So express the power that you have. And your power is also in your capability to feel emotions, because this is what makes you human, is this being able to feel emotions. Something that doesn't feel emotions is not human. It's more likely machine or something like that, along those lines. So the very fact that you can feel emotions is a blessing. It is amazing that you're able to feel that. And so I want you to know that. A quote that Rumi says is that these pains that you feel are messengers, and he says, listen to them. And here's another one by Rumi, and what he says is, you have to keep breaking your heart until it opens. So that just goes directly with these emotions. It's about recognizing what you're feeling now and letting that go in order to make space for better gratitude, for love, for more loving emotions and compassion in your life.
I have a quote that with Ralph Waldo Emerson that ties right into that. And he says, whoso would be a man must be a nonconformist. And I read that earlier, but when you read those quotes from Rumi, this goes right in with that, because if I'm going to be a nonconformist to not feeling emotions, I'm going to change. So I'm not going to conform to the state of being that I feel no emotions.
Sure. There's something fascinating about the truth, and it's the fascinating thing about the truth is that it can be questioned, and the truth can be questioned, it can be picked apart, it can be ripped into small pieces, and it's still going to be the truth. And right now, through the media and through the television, which tells lies to your vision, we are being told lies about who we are and what we are. But the truth, these lies, if you question these lies, guess what's happening right now? Your platform's being shut down. If you question the official story, you better be quiet and go along, because you're going to get shut down. You're going to be put in an asylum because you are questioning the official story. And that is because the official story is lies. Lies do not stand questioning. when you question the official story, it is very likely to blow completely apart and not even stand at all. That is because it's flat out a lie, and it has no merit of truth behind it. So truth, real truth, can be questioned over and over and over again, and it will stand the test of time. It will stand for centuries. Centuries from now, the truth will still be the truth, because that's what it is. And with that being said, tune into yourself and create your narrative, express yourself, and give thanks that you're able to feel emotions. Peace.
Peace.